All right, white horse rider and the bow and the cloud, the rainbow and the Sodom and Gomorrah and Adam in Genesis 5 being both male and female. And then Adam was there. And then all of a sudden, according to the church, Eve was there when the rib was taken out. And they teach Eve as being the first woman. So let's tie these things together, because when it tells you in Genesis 1 that male and female was made after he, them, and then you see that Genesis 5, Adam is both male and female. All right. We understand that Sodom and Gomorrah and the rainbow spectrum, that grieve us sin. The grieve us sin ties into the us of the God of the us and our that's mentioned in Genesis 1. So as this Father, Holy Spirit, and Word, the 3 in 1, the 3 genetics in one person, and those things, as we are building, it tells you in so-called creation that Adam and whatever the earth was 6,000 years old, right? And evolution tells you however many billions. So it doesn't matter how you look at these things. Man is rising up in genetics in one way, shape, or form, while it's going down in genetics. And while it does prevention, it prevents it. So it is preloading that vent for something to come out of it. And as they test this, that, and the other, they're tracking this, that, and the other, and they're putting it all together, and they're figuring out what the past 50, 60, 80, 150 years, whatever, as far as the medical community and living forever, that fountain of youth, all those types of things as far as the medical spectrum, and that medicine, the God returning back into man, the sons of God, taking man from one level to another level. Genesis to Revelation is one long story. And each book, so to speak, is a chapter. And also realize that it's a holy Bible. Things are missing. And they even tell you this because they tell you, well, this Bible over here has this many books. But the Bible you're using has this many books. And then the Catholic's Bible has this many books and this thing or whatever. So none of you have the full Bible. If you had the full Bible, then that's where they can't teach the literalism that they teach now, because the books like the Book of Giants and the Book of Adam and Eve and the Book of Enoch and all these things tell you such crazy shit that lets you know that it's an allegory and parable. And the Bible is a fucking poem. It's all written in a poetic form. Okay? And what's that mean? Just on the simple, when you put all these things together, when you read it, it means something else. All right? So that's where they're literally taking it. Well, we found this archaeologist. We believe that it's the site of where Jesus' tomb and blah, blah. And they just fucking run away with it. But they found the shroud. They're missing the whole point. He went into heaven, and heaven is in you. And the heaven's at hand. It's likened into a net. It's likened into a mustard seed or whatever. You're wanting to go to heaven, so you're wanting to go inside of a mustard seed and wait for somebody to fucking grow you or turn you into a sandwich. Are y'all not even reading stuff or what? No, most of you haven't read the Bible. And then when you read the Bible, you'll see that your pastor is wrong, and then you'll go to the next church and be like, well, he's wrong too. This says this, but this one says, I mean, they're cherry picking the scriptures, and they're trying to make me believe. Jesus never was a Christian. He actually gave you freedom to be whatever you wanted to be. But the Adam and Eve, the right and left, the right and wrong, the wrong and left, the left and wrong, the left is not always wrong, the wrong is not always left. All these things are all coming up as you're going that wrong way on that street. On that street and that tree with a tree of knowledge of good and evil. And you've all gone with that serpent seed, and you're with the Pharaoh, holding up this serpent in the hospital, and then you're holding up that serpent with this hospital, and then you got the third one's the charm with the Moses coming to do the Red Sea divide. Red Sea divide attached to your rainbow, and the anger, the manger for your Jesus in the stable. So as you have God in the program and all these things, using time frames and spectrums of man, and the petrol oil, the darkness from underneath, and whatever else, for all we know, you go through the ocean to get to space, right? That's why they always train in this, in water and whatever else. The exit could be that way, and that's where you get the high and low tide, and we're actually sucking out liquid space, so to speak, in the petrol, and that's why we'll never run out, because we're always, the black hole is always consumed. We're actually living upside down in China, so to speak, as we go into the minors. And that's all spiritually speaking too, as far as the black hole and the phone and whatever else is, as China is coming to gather this and Russia's trying to gather this, but it's all coming together in this exam time and this merge of God and realities as whatever else. But so as the dragon and the woman and all that stuff, the China and the Lady Liberty and all that stuff come to grips for the leash and pulling the dragon back from eating its own tail and whatever. So the clones, the Lone Star State, Elon, he might be a clone of 3 people, or a clone period, or whatever kind of thing we can see lining up on that spectrum. Or Texas, the Lone Star State. Trump might be a clone. I told you way back in the day, there's some kind of thing about 4 clones, the 4th one being on ice. That might tie into GW as far as the Tiger King coming and being let out of prison, getting that pardon, or running for president from prison and then pardoning himself once he becomes president, and those types of things. And that'd be part of the shit show. And so we'll see how they work all this. But the literal part on the 3 parents and the rainbow spectrum, you see the 3 parents with the rainbow spectrum with Biden, the Biden, the 2-in-1, those types of things. On that level, the 3 parents and God, sons of God, man elevating himself to the next level and getting rid of disease and those types of things. That's how all these things are kind of be going together. And all the trans stuff, the hormones moving, boom, boom, boom. It's where God and man and woman, it's where things are broken, right? But things are being fixed, and we're going to merge together where maybe man and woman, or however it can breed with itself. And it can maybe be able to do that through a robot you live with, or however kind of thing. But this is just kind of putting together and understanding how man and God and technology and the black hole earth and all these things are all working together. And the program is within itself, the seed of life. As God comes, he's sent a seed in there. He has to come in to do whatever, but it takes time for him to create himself within this reverse spectrum, within this mirror that absorbs the light. So this is where the light and the mirror and earth and all these things are absorbing within itself. And that's where a sun comes within the sun and all that stuff that we're told and shown. Okay, so this is where we might get 2 suns, or that would tie into the Satan and Jesus, all those things coming at once, the John and the Jesus. This tying into your Travis and Taylor. Those are all tying into your Travis County, the Hill Country, on that spectrum. And then you see the dam break, the Holloway, the Sunset, or not the dam, the water main break in California at Holloway and Sunset or whatever. You just had the McGregor do the set on the knee, and the UFC and all that stuff on the Holloway. So that's where all those things and all these things are like clicking to get those who are thinking and have a little bit of light left. That Christos is rising up to the neck and getting to that pineal in the face of God as you're going in that time of Jacob. So that's where y'all are starting to fucking get it or not fucking get it at all. All right, just I just want to wring his neck as he defiles that he's speaking blasphemy. I cannot listen to that man. He is speaking blasphemy. The blasphemy as a ribbon nucleic acid. And the third temple has been built. And you're all weak pussies. And the pussy's getting tenderized right now as the begotten son is rising for the main event. Do you feel me? Do you smell what the roast is cooking? I doubt it. You're going to smell it, though, when the crop starts dusting and that potluck dinner starts serving up them cookies. All right, so choose wisely, because you're going to get to those stories where he beat off in his cake and then he served it. Or the little gel for the Something About Mary, which if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the new generation, you got to go back and see that one's a funny one. Anyways, that little fucking tidal wave. Either way, the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory hit us back there in junior high. That's when we were all being hypersexualized back then. We're going to tell you about the DARE program. And have this woman on the TV talking about sex, Dr. Ruth or whatever. Well, if you just take the vagina. I forgot what she sounds like. But I can do her voice. It doesn't fucking matter. Either way, that shit was funny back then. It was all a big fucking clusterfuck. Because, like, you'd go home, like my house, you'd have, like, codependency therapy books, which was, it taught me a lot about this fucked up nation, how why they're eating for happiness and why they're whatever going on, okay? That's a whole nother video. But then you got the witchcraft ones, told you about witchcraft through a reverse negative light or whatever kind of thing. The health books, the stories about the women who were so crazy, where they would go through the newspaper, cut all the bras and panties, and then their husband could look at it. Same lady knew a lady who had her fucking kid and sold her for like 30 grand. Oh man, either way, dude, we haven't all seen the fucking spaceship. All right. And then, like when they said, oh, there's been an alien cover-up and whatever. This is kind of a rapture on another scene. Because a lot of us have been like, seeing this or that, or grabbed here, or light paralysis, and all these different shit, or surrounded by a light and a wreck. All this different weird stories, right? That are like real fucking shit. And then they tell you this happened. And then I saw a mothership and whatever else over Yellowstone, and with the witnesses we pulled out of that laundromat. So, either way, as all that is going together, they tell you their cover-up. So now it's just like a rapture event. Well, I'm an alien hybrid. I just identify as myself an alien hybrid now. So it's just like, because I know what the fuck happened, right? And it's been there my whole life, and I've been shown this and that and the other. I was raised in church, shown the shadows in the fucking room, had the cat sleeping on the fucking chest, and all this weird shit looking back. And then going to the funerals and that happening, grandma dying on the floor, her gasping for air, the granddad dying in the fucking bed, this granddad dying that way, all these kinds of things, looking at life in a weird, as a kid, looking back. You don't know when you put your kid over there to sleep at grandma's house that's sleeping on the floor and the hose rolled down and this shit and the foot hanging over your head. And they're going to fucking scar you where you don't want to fucking sleep over there. And they got to bribe you with a fucking toy and whatever else. But that Toys R Us is playing along with the bribery and that kind of thing for that grandma session. So, oh, man. Either way, we will end this time of healing.